Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
As always, the Ramble is sponsored by COACH Sheffield. If you're a growing business and you want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. Thank you for joining the team for their continued support for the Ramble. Today's Ramble is also sponsored by High Point Access. Thank you to them for their support. They are your number one stop shop for all your working at heights and roofing needs. If you mention the Blades Ramble when booking any works with them, you'll also get 10% off.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
That sums the day up, doesn't it? What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I'm, of course, Jimmy, and this is 90 after 90. That's it then, isn't it? That's it, I think. That is United in the playoffs. We have lost away at the team bottom of the league. And a side that have... Look, I've been accused sometimes of coming on here and saying United should have done this. Why should United have done that? United should have... Why? You're disrespecting the opposition. 2 games ago, we were top of the league. Or 3 games ago now, we were top of the league. They have been bottom for a long time. We should, if we want to get promoted automatically, this is not disrespectful to Plymouth. This is just facts. If we want any designs on automatic promotion, you need to be able to go to the bottom of the league. I don't care what they're fighting for, and you need to go and beat them. They were poor. They were a poor side. They were offering nothing at all, and we have beaten ourselves again. And that don't mean they didn't come into it, or even that they don't deserve what they got. But tonight we've allowed Leeds and Burnley to go. Is it 5 points clear of us? 4 points clear? I'm beyond. The table kept changing so quickly with the. Let's have a little look now. I'll tell you exactly how we stand. Just an absolute. It's 5 points. It's 5 points, and let's be right. It's 6 points with goal difference, isn't it? So United are in playoffs, and at the moment that would be Sheffield United, Sunderland, Bristol City, and Coventry. Yeah, it's a really tough one to take tonight. Really tough one. Or this afternoon, even. It's not even night, it feels like it. Yeah, there's a lot of people joining us already. Thank you to everybody that stayed on the stream and joined us coming over. Over nearly 600 people in already. I know that'll continue to rise, hopefully, throughout the stream. Simon starts us off saying, Jim, I think Robbo's turning your hair grey. Yeah, look, everybody knows my thoughts on Jack Robinson. And it got to a point where even I got bored of repeating myself that he's not good enough, he's not good enough. And it doesn't need saying. It doesn't need saying from me all the time. It just doesn't, because people know where I stand. So I tried consciously to ease off a little bit, because you don't need to, do you? People know what I think and they can still have their opinion. Some will still favour him, some won't. But I'm struggling to keep my mouth shut tonight. I'm really struggling. Why? What has Rob Holding got to be thinking sitting on that bench? It starts off in first half where he choke slams somebody to the floor, or rear naked choke, I can't remember what it was, in our box, risking giving away a penalty. He then completely fluffs his lines that hands them the first goal. He's the reason for Vinny getting cramped with that goal-saving challenge. I can't deal with him anymore. I can't. And the problem is, if we don't get out of this division, we'll extend his contract, because we'll see him as a good championship option. While they're at fault, starts Cannon, then basic errors from Robinson. I don't think starting Cannon were the issue. I don't think Cannon took his chance, but I didn't have a problem with him starting Cannon tonight. I think you look at Tyrese Campbell's performance when he came on, didn't do much either. I think collectively it's been very, meh again. Robbo to blame, and I'm afraid Wilder is also to blame for picking him over Holding, says Tim. Can't argue that point. Can't argue that. Chris says it's time for Wilder to walk and get Steve Cooper in. I'm not that. I'm nowhere near there. Nowhere near there, Chris. Why are we asking the manager to walk? We've lost 3 games. We've won 26. We've had a fantastic season. Just because 2 teams are better than us, does that mean we are so much better than 21 other teams in this league based on the points that we've got? Just I disagree. Mitch says can see Wilder laying into them lot on TV now, just as he should be. He needs to look at himself now as well. So yeah, what Mitch is referring to there is he got him in a huddle at the end. It wasn't like a huddle. It was like a circle, I suppose. And he was talking to him on the pitch at full time rather than doing a full time talk in the dressing room, which I'm sure they'll get as well. Matthew says the players looks down, so like Hamer was in tears at the end. Looks so down, looks like Hamer was in tears at the end. It's the playoffs now. We need to regroup fast for them. Jack says someone put a positive spin on this one from the start. I said we're creatively challenged and don't put games to bed. But no, we won. Now look, playoffs are here we come. Jimmy says Robbo's killing us. Yes, we should have control and added to the goals, but defending a 1-0 lead looks like splitting the atom with a knife and fork. Yeah, I'm just double checking something as well. It's just so depressing, isn't it? It's the hope that kills you. That's what my dad always told me as a Blade. And they've done it again to us, haven't they? Both sides good enough to beat the teams in front of them. So it's either tactics or mentality. Too negative. Whose fault is that? Club captain needs clubbing like a seal, mate. Can see Wilder spitting dummy out, leaving back door again, says Walter. Not a chance. Not a chance. Can't drop this on Wilder for me, says Westwood. I'd have rather have Big Keith over Cannon to start, but apart from that, the players need to be doing better. I agree. Even as a Leeds fan, I still hope you go up, says Gav. Thank you. LUFC says Leeds are falling apart again. Danny says could have dealt with both goals better and nearly another which ended up getting Sousa injured. Good day at the office for Jackie Longthrow. Eye rolling emoji. I'm going to have to put the phone down on the wife, which might come back and bite me. Playoffs for United, says Riley. Absolutely right. Playoffs it is then, Jimmy. Gutted, says Spotlight actor Wayne. Wilder out, says Benjamin. How it going, Jim Boo, says the illiterate Leeds fan. Chip Butty says, why take Raksaki off? That 3 changes killed us again. I was surprised that Raksaki came off, I'll be honest, because he had started to really influence the game when he came off. Please do not go easy on this team or Wilder. I am fuming. I don't know what else we can say, James. I'm more despondent than anything else. In fact, yeah, I'm getting some messages from people that's quite concerning, actually. So I just hope everybody's all right. It's ultimately there's more important things than football. It's just in the moment. It's very raw, isn't it? George's going to come on and join me very shortly. I've also got somebody else waiting, but I've got 2 more waiting. So I'm going to bring the first one on now, who can hopefully talk some sense into me. Time will tell.
David knows, he really knows where the wind, I know whispers blow. Smelly brain, he's in the know. David knows, steals the show. David knows, he really knows.
I need to take that loop off.
So nice you played it twice.
No, mate. I'm not feeling my usual boppy self to your catchy theme tune. So how are you, mate?
I'm fuming.
Talk to me, mate.
I'm raging. I'm absolutely raging. I mean, no plan B. Wilder's plan B is I'll just put a different player in same position, same patterns of play, not change it up. Fuming.
So bad today. So
Awful.
bad.
Why he's not changed the defence after the other night when they were all over the place?
He can't
I
bring
cannot
himself
get that.
to change Robinson, can he? He can't take Robinson off out of the side. And I just what what else? What else? What else does he need to do? I think we are.
Yeah.
Well, we've
I
thrown
don't
it
know.
away, haven't we? We've thrown away automatic.
Oh,
So,
massively, massively.
mate.
In our hands, and but we've bottled it. Plain and simple.
I suppose we have to start thinking now. Can we stop the rot in time for the playoffs? What do we do? Do you bring in? Do you do whole? I know there were pretty much 5 changes is huge for a starting lineup, but Holding's got to come in for the playoffs. Surely, you make the call to drop
Well, I
Robinson
mean,
now.
he's got to come in. He's got to come in now.
You make that's what I mean. To get him going for the playoffs, you've got to make the call now to drop Jack Robinson.
Yeah,
You've got to.
Well, I mean, right. So we beat. If it's a big ask, it's such a big ask. Beat Burnley. It's not out of the question. We could still do autos.
Dave, I love you. You know I love you, mate. But we're also good enough mates for me to tell you when you're talking absolute nonsense.
No, they don't. It could still happen. I'm not saying it will happen. It could still happen.
We're 5 points behind them both, with an inferior
yeah.
goal difference.
I know we are.
So they have to lose twice in 4 games.
Yeah, they do.
And we have to win every game.
Yeah. Or they need to lose once and draw twice.
Yeah. The 2, mate. Yeah. Or draw 3 times.
Look, I'm not putting spin on it. I really am not putting spin on it. I don't even know what to say. Probably worst call he'll have. I just don't know what to say.
Mate, this is what we're all feeling it tonight, though, aren't we? And it's not a case of. It's just real, innit? That's what we're feeling. We're feeling.
Just got the equaliser on again here, and I just don't. They stood about.
I know. They're going to interview Wilder in a minute, aren't they? They've got to do, and I'll be amazed. In fact, I don't normally do this, but I think we'll probably play it while we're on, just so we can all sort of understand what his mindset is.
He's got to hold his hands up today. I'm sorry.
It's going to be really interesting in it to see what his approach is this time.
You can't just put it on players. You can't just expect we'll swap it round. We'll carry on as we have been doing, and it'll be fine.
No, it's not gone to him yet.
And somebody said about Raksaki coming off. I mean, I said I know I put in watch along, but that were an odd one.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And he's just sort of like gone, oh, well, we'll get O'Hare in, but we'll shoehorn him about. Felt sorry for the lad. Stick him here, stick him there, and hope he does something.
What I mean, somebody in chat said today, I think it was James actually, part of me thinks it's done. This was before the game. It's done, so wouldn't absolutely be devastated with a draw or a loss today if Leeds win, so we can get our heads around the playoffs earlier. If we can take anything from this result today, is it the fact that it's happened now rather than last game at season?
Yeah, I think that's just looking for.
Of course, it is.
Things to make you feel better. What the best teams do, and the best sportsmen, sportswomen, they focus on the match in front of them. They don't worry about permutations. They don't think too far ahead. They just focus on what's in front of them, and that's what we've not done.
But I know, but we're clearly not one of the best teams, are we? We're clearly not. We're clearly the third best team, aren't we?
And I stand by it. There's nothing wrong with falling short to two better teams, and we shouldn't feel it. We shouldn't be entitled. But 3 defeats on the spin against the teams that we've played.
If we'd have got 9 points from these games, we're 4 clear at the top with 4 games to go.
Yeah.
And it's obviously it seems like night and day, which it clearly is, but these were 3 very winnable games.
Yeah.
Very winnable. Even if we could have even afforded a draw to Millwall or even a loss to Millwall, and we're still clear at the top. But we can't beat Oxford and we can't beat Plymouth. And do we deserve to go up?
George said, against these teams that just sit in, we struggle. But we didn't try anything different. So that's what I'm saying about with Wilder. That's why I think he's got to own it today. We just haven't tried anything different. It took us to go behind before he changed it.
Mate, okay, so it's difficult, isn't it? Because we're having to completely shift everything that we've been conditioned to. We were so involved in the automatic race that was the full focus, and now it's like being smacked. It's a full. Oh, hang on. I can't answer this, love. I can't answer this. Trying to WhatsApp video me now. I hope everything's all right.
You should probably find out.
I know. I'm just gonna hope all is well, love. I'm just on stream, just live on stream. Oh my goodness me! So it's looking like playoffs, pal, isn't it? It's looking almost nailed on for playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you about who do you want to face or anything like that because it's too early to look at that. I think that could all fluctuate anyway.
Don't matter.
How are you feeling?
The league and lost, so it don't matter.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Do you have any sort of confidence at all?
Yeah, because you don't become a bad team overnight. But clearly something's wrong and it needs addressing, and that's on the manager. Now he's got to earn his money.
Well, you just said that before, wouldn't you? You said that before, I suppose.
Yeah. There's some young lads in that squad. And I've said it numerous times, that the pressure is on them at the minute.
Okay, let's
easier for them.
If it, I mean, it's ridiculous to think at this stage, mate. But if it don't happen this season, is that a terrible thing? Because it's now a real possibility that it don't happen.
It's the best chance we'll have. Statistics show that. I think we've probably been lucky in a sense this season that Luton have been so bad that they've dropped off. It's going to be really, really tough next. But we did it last time we went up. We did it then. So it's not an absolute disaster. It's still doable next season, and we know we'll all go again. But it's the best chance we're going to have to go back up, without a doubt.
Well, thank you for kicking us off on such a positive note, mate. But there were no other way to do it, were there? You've got to be honest. You've got to tell us how you feel. We live and breathe the highs, and we've got to take the lows as well, haven't we? So, look, we'll be there come rain or shine, won't we? Are you moving stuff around in your diary for playoff dates? Can you make the playoffs, mate? Are we going?
I don't even know what the dates are. It not even entered my head.
I know, mate. I know.
It's going to make the end of season awards interesting, though.
Oh, don't. Oh, God. Right.
We're not going to have a celebration, we thought, are we?
No, we're not, mate. We're not. That'll be interesting. Okay, mate. Well, thank you for starting us off. I've got over 117, 18, 19, 20. Right, okay. The comments are just ridiculous flying in, but I'll catch up with you soon.
All right, take it easy.
All right, mate. See you soon. Ta-ra, mate.
David knows, he really knows
Right. Way Leeds are falling apart, says Jack. Brett says, look at it positively. We're in the playoffs now with games to try and find some style that works for our squad. Hard to be positive after this week, but yeah, I think that's the only sort of silver lining you can try and pull from it. Luke says Wilder needs to take the blame on himself and the players don't want to hear anything about the fans or other managers. Take responsibility. RotR says if Blades lose to Burnley, Leeds only need 3 points to get autos. I'm not bothered about if we lose and what other teams need. We've got to focus on us now. Hey guys, I've just made some custard. Anyone fancy some Sheffield crumble? Says Brad. Brand says, still think I'm daft for writing the season off. The playoff writing was on the wall weeks ago. Performances for most of the season have been boring and lackluster. We don't deserve promotion, really. Rob says, echo most thoughts. Wilder's reluctance to drop Robbo for levels above holding has ultimately cost us autos. Need form now for the playoffs. Yeah, I agree that the Robbo selection has cost us. I've taken some right stick, to be honest. But I don't mind it. That's everybody's got their own opinion. But I've been consistent on it. I think it's fair to say. I'm going to welcome in our next caller, the man that's just done the watch along with me, and thank you for suffering through it with me, pal. It's Geordie boy. How you doing, pal?
I've been better. I've certainly been better.
It's awful, isn't it?
I mean, I don't even know how do you even dissect that because everyone just disappointed. We're all disappointed, aren't we? You know, 3 games ago, we're top at league, a couple of points clear. Everyone's riding wave and feeling so positive and starting to believe that it's going to be us. We're going to get there, and we've just absolutely capitulated. And we take Mick out of Leeds. You know, the same old Leeds are falling apart again, and it's us. I think we now know how it feels to be a supporter of them because we've done it. We've done exactly the same as what they do, and it's probably just been one step too far for us, hasn't it? It's there's something been missing terribly out of these last 3 performances, and it's probably that cutting edge. We've not created enough chances. Been sloppy at back, mainly down to Jack Robinson. Chris Wilder's on now. I mean, I don't know if you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
See what he says.
We needed to be consistent.
I respect that and congratulate Plymouth Argyle to lose away at Oxford, who were struggling at the time, and to lose an home game. To not pick up any points in 3 games is obviously going to massively.
Can hear yours, George, so it's all right. It's good. No, it's good. It's good.
Leave it up
to the position where you want to be.
It was a lovely goal to put you ahead, but did you do enough to get that second goal?
No, we didn't. We had enough of the ball, enough play, but we needed to go and get that second goal and go for the jugular a little bit more, but we didn't. And you know, the reaction or what will happen in that game happened. They're going to chuck it on and they're going to stick a boy at the top of the pitch, and you know, long throws, and they were direct with it, which absolutely no issue. They're fighting for their lives and they're in a different situation to what we are. So there was always going to be that fight to the end, but to kill that, because we killed it first half, we got ourselves in front at half time, so mission accomplished up to half time, and now was the time to go and get that second goal. And we just weren't good enough in around the final third, really. And obviously when it's 1-0, the game can quickly turn, and it's obviously quickly turned.
Yeah. Did you feel like they had the momentum once they scored the first?
Well, no, I think Tyrese Campbell's gone through and should score, really. So
Yeah, he should.
Chasing the game or chasing to go and get a winner. The game should be put to bed, and we should be comfortable 2/3. You know, then they come out and we catch them on the counter attack. But we didn't. We you know, I can't really put my finger on it. You know, we talked about half time going and getting that second and really killing the game. There's enough experience out there, and there's enough quality. And we didn't use our experience, and we certainly didn't use our quality. Some good players on the pitch for us there, and we have to find those better or bigger moments in the last 25 half an hour, and there was a couple we got into good positions, but the final bit at the end it decides games. And if we got ourselves 2 up, 3 up, then the game's done and dusted, and we leave here in a different emotion.
Emotions were running high at the end. What happened heading into the tunnel?
Yeah, nothing. No, absolutely nothing really. You know, they're celebrating a big win and they're coming off, and for supporters are in the stand right next to the tunnel. So yeah, get everybody in. I spoke to their manager. He's good as gold, and he understands the situations just as much as I do, and the referee and the assessor. So emotions run high in a game of football, which I've always said. Emotions run high, especially for their boys as well, because it's a huge win for them. I'm sure if we'd have won the game today, then that would have made it double difficult for them to stay in division. So they've given themselves a fighting chance in staying in the division, and we've given up another massive opportunity to get in touch and close the gap to Leeds United and Burnley. So yeah, we're not in a great position because of a week full of poor results, and we have to accept that, and we have to own that, and we certainly will, and reset Monday and go and try and get another result on Friday.
It's changed very quickly, though, hasn't it? To go from top to 5 points behind with 4 games left. If you've got to believe that it can change quickly again.
We talked about today a big performance and a win, and I thought the performance was decent. Just didn't do enough to go and get that second goal. I never felt in danger. I think always
I agree with that.
Long throw or a corner, and obviously the equaliser comes from a corner, which we've not dealt with well enough. Vinny's had to come off the pitch, obviously a big marker for us as well, so that's gone against us. But we really should we shouldn't have to deal with being just 1-0 up at that stage of the game, because we had the game under control. We were under no threat really. It was coming a little bit desperation from their point of view, but then we have to show the qualities that you need at this stage of the season, and basically at this stage of a game, really, to go to 2 and 3, and we didn't. We paid the price.
Thanks, Chris.
Cheers.
So I agree we did look in danger, because I said that on stream.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Until 79th minute, until that ridiculousness from Jack Robinson, where Vinny Souza had to bail him out, we didn't look under any threat. But then that's down to us to create more and take his chances. Jack Raksaki had his chance, didn't he, second half, where he cut inside again and he shot and keeper saved. If he puts that away, then it's game over. It's 2-0, and I don't see them coming back into it. But whenever it's 1-0, the game is never over. You can't just keep lying on a 1-0 and thinking that's going to be enough. It's just showing you now a bit of argy-bargy that happened after. I think
Robinson involved again.
But to be honest, it were Wilder at start.
What it?
Yeah, I think 2 of their players were walking in front of our fans. Whether they must have been giving our fans a bit of grief, because I'm sure our fans will have been giving them a bit of grief as well. And Wilder sort of like stood into him a bit and stood up against him. And then that was it. All players crowded around then. But yeah, it's just not good enough, is it? At the end of the day, Leeds and Burnley are 2 better teams than what we are. We've got a good squad. A good set of players. Yeah. We've got a good set of players, but Leeds and Burnley are better than us. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I think fair play to them. Leeds have had their wobble. Burnley haven't really had a wobble this season. They've drawn a lot of games, but they've done enough to see them up there, up at top at league. And we haven't. We've crumbled at the time where it matters the most. And now we've got to, like Wilder says, we've got to fight back, and we've got to change this losing mentality. We had a losing mentality last season, and Wilder's changed that this season, so we can do it, but it's going to take a lot of hard work.
Well, I've got you, mate. I'm going to bring in. It's a little bit. I don't often do this, but I'm going to bring in 2 other lads who are waiting as well to talk. So, so many comments to get through, and I don't want to keep everybody waiting for ages. So I'm welcoming in Mark and Ricky. How's it going, boys? You okay?
No.
Sound me, mate.
You're all right. 25 quid better off, aren't you, Mark? But
sound, mate. I've had a lovely afternoon.
Are you just referring to bingo, or do you already sort of come to this conclusion.
No, we're coming, mate. Could see it. Bottled it. Got hammered online saying we haven't bottled it. This, that, other. Bottled it. No other team does what we do in a week and gets away with it. Like, it's ridiculous.
It were really poor, really. And
you can moan about Robin. Like, I'm not going to go over it again because it just does me head in. But can go on about Robinson, this, that, other.
I will.
He's not at fault for that second goal.
What about first?
It's harsh. In what way?
How can you keep? And
To be honest, Mark, if he picks his man up when that ball comes in for that second goal, he heads
a lot's happened after that. A lot's happened after that, though. A lot's happened after that. Fact is, Wilder's just alluded to it. We didn't do enough.
No, we didn't.
Ungone.
Do you think? And I don't, because we're certainly not going to. Opinions are opinions, mate. But do you honestly think that Jack Robinson should keep his shirt? How he's been playing. He almost gave away a penalty in box. He was appalling, I thought, against Millwall. He almost gave a penalty away today. I think you were at fault for at least one at goals today as well. And I know I know what you're saying, and I agree with you, Mark, to a large degree. It's not his fault why we lost. I'm not saying he's the reason that we lost. But as one of the poorer performers in the team, why does he still keep getting picked? He's supposed to be captain. It's not a captain's performance. Rob Holding is streets ahead of him as a player, and that improves us. So I don't get why you can bomb out Ben Brereton Diaz, correct decision in my opinion, and bring Raksaki in. Give Campbell a rest, and bring Cannon in, correct decision I thought at the time. Obviously, Cannon hasn't taken his chance. Sousa came in for Chowdhury. Chowdhury didn't do an awful lot wrong, but I don't mind that change either. Harry Clark came in for a poor Sariki. I don't think Harry Clark covered himself in glory, but I understood all the changes. I understood them all. I just think Rob Holding were the one that we didn't make, that we could have made. And I'm not saying it makes a huge difference today, but I think it does make a difference. So I think he's got to come out. He's got to come out of the side. And I know I'm a broken record with it, which is why I've tried to ease off a little bit. But I honestly think he's a weak link in this side. Ricky, I'm going to bring you in too, pal. It's turned your hair a different colour, mate. How are you feeling?
Mate, so we played 42 games, this season.
Yeah.
We broke down 3 teams all season. Coventry, Middlesbrough, Oxford. 3 games all season. We can't break teams down. Wrong system, wrong formation, call whatever it is, wrong players for the system. He's got it wrong. It's wrong. The system's wrong. It doesn't work. We've scraped 1-0s how many times this season?
15.
Do you know what I mean? And that's probably down to good organisation by keeping back door shut, but we can't even blow simple teams away. We've lost to we're at 19th, 24th, and 9th. First goal in 300 minutes, and we were challenging for autos. No,
I know, lads. It's tough, innit? It's tough to show remaining fixtures now, but I mean, it's much of a muchness, innit? 4 games to go. One of them needs to drop 6 points.
They're not.
Get it out of your head. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. And I'll tell you now, all this that people start doing, get ready for playoff. Get it out of your head. That's it. Done. We don't perform at playoffs. We don't perform. It winds me up. People saying, got to back them for play.
Of course you've got to back them. Of course you've got to back them.
That's it. I had a ticket for Burnley. I don't want to go because I'm not going to watch that. How they've played last 3 games. I'm not doing it.
I get how you're feeling. You've got to stick by him. You've got to stick by him with. I know it's hard, and I know it's hard to take in. It is hard to stomach, and I'm usually one that gets negative. But go and enjoy your day at Burnley. Why not? We've got no pressure. For me, there's no pressure on us now. We're not expecting to beat them. We think it's playoffs, so go and enjoy your day at Burnley and have a good day out with Blades fans. Have a beer, do whatever you want, whatever you want to do, and just enjoy it. If we lose, we lose. We all know it's playoffs now, so. Don't gear up. Don't gear up on them. Playoffs. It's like, them that finished 3rd. If they've been in a run with automatics, it don't always happen, does it? When it goes into playoffs, that team that fall away. I get it, but it's also like starting a new little season in it, and it's a shootout, and it's whoever turns up on it.
Do you know what makes me laugh as well? Like, you see that at end where they're in that huddle, and you can guarantee it'll have no effect. At Oxford, they go over to fans, they get this with arms and get bigger and all this. No changes. We fell off a cliff. I agree with you, Ricky, to a degree. I think we have had so many wins 1-0 this season, so I kind of disagree saying system don't work. I think sometimes players within that system who we've picked are the issue. Like today, shoehorning Aware on left when he plays more central, he's better centrally. It seemed to be more a flat three with Amer and Peck either side of Sousa. Cannon's been absolutely hung out to dry again. Like, no service whatsoever. And I said this other day, He'll make loads of changes today. There'll be no fluidity, and that's exactly what happened today. And he took only man I thought were a threat off.
Yeah,
that's another story. That's another story. I didn't think he was as bad other night as a lot of people said. I think he just missed some like one gilt edge chance other night, a couple that were sort of half chances, but that's just it. I think we're done. I do. I think we're done.
Season. You don't think there's any chance in playoffs at all?
No.
Even though we've been best performing team at 4, whichever 4 it ends up being.
Yeah.
But then I suppose you could look at it. Middlesbrough, we didn't beat them at their place, did we? We lost it with 1-0. Then we beat them at home, so it's like a win and a loss. Sunderland, we beat at home, lost away. Coventry, we drew away, won at home. So it's not a convincing, at least it's a win and a loss, but it's not massively convincing, is it? As in to say, yeah, we'll go and beat them.
Sorry,
what I find irritating though, it's like, if we don't go up this season, say bye to Anel, bye to Armour, bye to Sousa. Yeah. Look at teams what are coming down. Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton, their squads are miles in front of ours. If we don't go up now, I can't see us going up for the next 3 years. Call it 3 years. And then all this
less every year, don't they?
Yeah, I've also heard, Ricky, that you look at teams coming up as well. Wrexham and Birmingham. If Wrexham do come up, they're going to be big spenders, aren't they? So
yeah, we are out, and we've got this system. Like I keep saying on about it, but same formation what Leeds are playing, same formation what Burnley are playing, but differences they've got Edwards and what's the other kid? Is it Anthony?
Yeah,
Jaden Anthony. Then you got James and Solomon. Do you know what I mean? We've got. Do you know what I mean? We ain't got wingers. We've got Raksake. He did well today, Raksake. I'll give him that. Do you know what I mean? It's because we had a proper winger. We ain't got any. We're playing wrong. We're playing it wrong. That squad, the squad players, what we've got now is set up for the old system, not this new one. What he's doing.
I think as well. If you do look at the system, I think the way that we've played, especially the last 3 games, and it's easy to say when we've lost last 3, but it's just far too slow. Like, you look at teams like today, they've just sat in, Millwall sat in, Oxford sat in, and said, right, breakers that, and we're not good enough to do it. We're not, and that's just how it is. And like, you watched Burnley last night, and listen, you might say on a different day Norwich nick a point there, but they're just a better side than us. There's a reason they beat us at our place. There's a reason Leeds beat us at our place. They're a better side than us. I wouldn't fancy Bristol over 2 legs. I think probably my favourites for playoffs would be Sunderland, because I think they've been in there for a long time. I think they've probably mentally prepared themselves for what's coming. I think we've just fell off a cliff. It'd be some. Tell you what, if we did do it, it'd be some turnaround, because I just can't see it.
I'm not that worried about Sunderland, Mead. I'll be honest with you, because like when we played them at our ground, I weren't impressed with them. I think we controlled game, and when we played them at their ground, they won by Robinson and Peck making mistakes. I weren't impressed by them. They did dominate us.
Playoffs.
I thought they played well at our ground.
The form and the mentality, and at the minute, our heads have dropped off completely.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah,
I'll keep going, Mark. But our heads have fallen off completely. So we need to use these next 3 games. Obviously, we need to go out and try and win and see what happens in these next 4 games. and we're going to give everything to try and get automatic, whatever you want to think of it. But we are in playoffs, and we need to get back to some sort of winning ways. Yeah, he's back again. Hang on, because otherwise we're. If you don't go into playoffs in any sort of form, then Mark will be right straight off.
And that's what I think. That's what Sunderland's been doing, haven't they? They've been picking points recently, right. Gathering a bit of momentum. And I know you're saying that you're not worried about him, Ricky, and I get it. It's a fair opinion, but they're gathering a bit of momentum. Whereas in us, we're limping into playoffs, aren't we?
Not even limping. We're on two crutches, mate. We're in a wheelchair.
It's not that I'm not worried about Sunderland. They're the team I'm least worried about. With West Brom sneaking there, we haven't beat West Brom all season. It's been a draw both games. Bristol, do you know what I mean? We were lucky to beat them first time. Second game, they scraped that last minute goal. Do you know what I mean? Coventry, first game draw. Second game, we dominated second game, but all the fixtures what we've had with them 4 teams, Sunderland's the least one. I'm not bothered about.
I do think though. I think when Sunderland kept it lane, I think apart from Burnley and Leeds, who obviously are up there, I do think they were one at best at Kem.
Yeah,
I think we got away with one that night, and we probably should have beat them at their place.
I agree. I think if the result would have been reversed, then we couldn't have complained for either game, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. But everybody's laughing at us, aren't they? That's it now.
I'm not bothered about that. I'm not bothered about what anybody else thinks. Any other fans, I'm going to take a lot of stick because obviously I'm focal on channel, and I've been gone on different channels and said things about Sheffield United, but I believed it at the time, and I don't think I went too far. I support my team like we all do. I just think now is the time for him to go back to basics and strip away what you think has worked, because obviously the last three games we've fallen off a cliff. For me, your best defence, just for a start, is obviously Cooper in goal, Alfie Gilchrist, Rob Holding, Anel, and Burrows.
Yeah, even had a kick. Gilchrist.
Why is Holding there?
Gilchrist.
Why did we sign Holding?
I don't know, Rick. I don't know, mate. Because he's not.
We signed him, and it's dropped Gilchrist out at squad because Holding's getting that.
We might as well have brought up Dovidas. You know what I mean? We might as well fetched him up.
Genuine question though.
What as much, haven't we? Yeah.
Why do we think? And this is not me, like being silly beggars about, but why do we think he ain't playing him? That's a genuine question. Why is he not fit? Like this is what I'm. Do you know what I mean? It's like Alfie Gilchrist come out of that squad because when Harry Clark come in, it was so many loan players we could have in a match day squad. And when we signed, who did we sign? Rick Diaz or on loan? I think he came out or somebody came out for him.
Yeah.
And then he had a bit of an injury spell. But look at like where we got to with that back four, albeit sort of Robinson's come in when Suter got injured. But look where we got to with that back four. We had Kiefer Moore up front. He got injured. Campbell coming to form. I sort of agree with what Dave said. There seems to be no plan B.
Yeah.
And as soon as they scored that first goal, I said to my mate, "That's it. These will score again because we'll just implode." And that's exactly what's happened.
I think that was complaint on a lot of United fans last time as well with Wilder in charge. We had no plan B, and it seems to be the same thing again, doesn't it?
I know Happy Chappy is as anti-Wilder, I think, as I am pro-Wilder. So this just gives a different perspective on it. And he's been, it's not a personal thing, I don't think. He's just been consistent with it throughout. We both know the happy clappers will forget about this performance when he comes out talking about what this club is about, etc. Basically, the point I want to get from your lads is time for him to go. Performances haven't been good enough. Do any of you think it's time for Wilder to go?
No.
We did that last time. I think with Danny Wilson that got sacked.
I'm not going to say no, but
it didn't work.
To think get rid of him. Absolutely.
I'm not saying.
I'm not. Aren't you, Rick? You questioned his tactics.
Yeah, I'm not saying he needs to go, but I'm saying is he best option?
Yes.
Yeah, because there's no one else that's going to come in and make a difference with this squad with 4 games to go. There's not enough time there.
But right, he spent 10 million on Cannon who's hardly playing. No offence to Cannon, that's not Cannon's fault. But that money could have been invested other way. Do you know what I mean? It's like we all knew we needed a left winger. He bought Ben Diaz, who was a left inside forward, and played him on right.
Yeah.
It's the little things. Yeah, I get what he's done for the club, but it's not 2019 anymore.
But at the same time, I think you can look back. I think you can look at these last 3 games though and say we come through and we win all 3. We're not having this conversation.
No.
Yeah, no, right. But difference is, I was having this conversation before. I've been saying it for months and months and months. It's not fresh for me.
Yeah, I can back up on that, Rick.
I find that baffling.
Yeah.
No, Rick's questioned his tactics.
Don't get me wrong, right. Under some criticism. Absolutely. He's not perfect.
Of course he can. Yeah,
he's not
perfect. Nobody's perfect.
And we can all sit here and say, I'd do this, I'd do that. We're not the manager. And we're not,
I get that. But my question is, it's like, say, if Farker had our squad, if Farker were our manager, we didn't have Wilder, where would we be? Or if, for example, no, just an example, like if Danny Rowe were our manager before he went to Wednesday or out like this, where would we be with this squad? That's all I want to know. It's not so much different manager. Yeah, Danny Rowe's might be Wednesday's manager, but he's a good manager. You can't take that away from him.
It's all ifs and buts, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all ifs and buts. But like me,
Wilder's still 26 games this season. We're still 3 games ago we were top at league. So I just think it's. I get where you're coming from. I know what you're trying to say, pal.
What I'm trying to say is right. He's done all this, but why aren't I filled with confidence with him? That's what I'm saying. Why does he not fill me with confidence?
So why were we not feeling like that though? Like after Coventry, because
we weren't. Well, we were buzzing. All of it.
I mean, this is what I'm saying.
But like I've already said, 3 games all season.
That's riding the roller coaster of emotion of being a football fan, though, isn't it? Because obviously, when we get a great result, 95% of us were absolutely 99. We were dancing, weren't we, after Coventry?
Yeah. Do we not think as well that just you have to sort of look at? For me, like you can look at both sides, players, and manager, but them players have got to do more. What we've had on that pitch today, on paper, it's all that saying, or on paper don't win you a football match. But at the end of the day, we've got to step up. And after the last 2 performances, they go out today and chuck that in. Surrender. And this is what I said the other day, like Leeds and Burnley don't do that. They don't chuck a performance in like that, what we've done. That's
I think a lot of the argument is it a case of the players haven't performed to the standard that they should be doing because of the quality of player that we know we've got? Or is that down to the manager who's not playing them in a position that allows them to play to their strengths, really? So, and I think there's a valid argument for both, and you could probably say both comes into it to a certain degree. For example, Gus Hamer playing out on the left, his numbers have been very good for United, particularly first half of season. But is that his natural position? And I know today he played him in the 10, but is that his natural position? And if it isn't, then why are we persisting with him there? And like Ricky says, we bring Brereton Diaz in to fill that gap, who's more natural there, so you can hopefully bring Gus inside. And he don't do it because Gus is still producing decent results. But then you've got another square peg in a round hole with Brereton Diaz on the right. So it's like disjointed.
Sorry, Jim. With Diaz as well, what I don't understand, and I've said this for a while, when we had him in Premier League, and we're playing better opposition, we played him in a 2 up front, and he got 6-7 goals from playing in that position. Yet we've signed him, played him up left. Like, I get changing system, but we know where he's most effective. I think we needed another left winger in January. I think we needed somebody who could play that position, because I just don't think that Diaz will answer front left.
I thought Diaz played more left side for us in Premier League, to be honest. I think we had like an unbalanced formation in Prem where he would drop off to the left-hand side, and it suits this formation better. We just haven't played him there. We haven't played him, and he certainly hasn't been anywhere near levels that he was when he has played there. So it's just it's disappointing, isn't it, lads? So we've just got to get his heads round, refocusing on where we're going to be now, and that's.
I felt worse. I felt worse on Tuesday than I do today because I expected it today.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that sounds daft to say we're playing a team at bottom at league, but I've been in work this morning. Leeds fan at work said to me, "Oh, I fancy you today." I says, "Listen, mate, we'll not beat these today." And we struggled again with long ball, didn't we? Long ball at box again.
I were really confident.
Crosses into the box. We never dealt with him, did we? And we got punished.
That second goal, he's on stretch. I get people's argument, but he's on stretch. If he don't touch that, kid's just tapping it in. So he's got to try and get to that ball. But it's all if buts and maybes. We could talk about it till Christmas, but
It's
I just
happened,
think
hasn't it?
I can't see where we go from here, to be honest.
Boys, any final points you want to make before I let you go?
I'm £25 richer. That'll
Mark's
do me.
£25 richer.
Be a decent weekend at Wembley.
Well, so I'll tell you one thing. I'll just finish on one thing. It's done me a bit of a favour, that, because if we did get to the final, it's on my son's 4th birthday, so that's a different story.
Is it a day
Good
to
birthday
remember
present?
then,
Good birthday present.
Could be a day
I've been
that
every
you
other
always
time
like
and we've not won, so I might just sack it off and see what crack is.
You might be a bad omen then. You might be better off not going if we get there.
Could be, mate. Could be. I've seen us score against Hull, but then other times we just do what we always do, a bottle it. So
Jordan,
Jimmy's going to have to take a new job and get a Ramble coach and go to Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's much. I think everyone's said what we need to say, haven't we? It's playoffs, and yeah, I know we're on a bit of a downer at the moment, but we've just got to stick by them. It's hard, but no matter what, we'll always be there, and we support United through thick and thin. We've had bad times, we've had good times, but we're all Blades, and we stick together and just stick like team.
I'll say one thing as well, like Wilder's head just fell clean off. I mean, did you see that, mate? And what are you doing there? And
but we're all like that, aren't we? We're all like that a little bit. I know he's got to keep a lid on it. I know
it's his fan side coming out, innit? And that's the problem.
It were, and that's happened bang in front of our end, and they're celebrating, and
yeah,
it's just all kicked off. Campbell and Moore at back, Robbo's jumped in, Diaz is in there. It's just chaos. That's what I mean. Teams will love that, watching us.
It's probably going to be another line in it again.
Thanks, boys. I'll catch up with you soon. All right. Cheers for today as well, George. Much appreciated.
Nice one. Take care.
Cheers.
Boys. Thank you, lads. Appreciate it. Right. Let's get into some of these comments then. Hey, dear. How are we losing to bottom of the league, says Skiddy? They're absolutely shocking. I don't care if they're fighting for safety. They're the worst team in the league by far. Cannon and O'Hare, poor games. It's in our hands, says Van Blade. The most terrifying thing a Blade can hear. And this is where it ends up. That's right, mate. That's right. That's it now. We've totally bottled it. At the business end of the season, I'm gutted, says Jace. Wilder's #1 hater says it's time to go. Interesting. Scott says, Jim, text your mate Wilder. I wish I had his number, pal. Tell him no more Robinson, no more Cannon, and play attacking football all 90. Not score, go 1-0 up and sit back. Embarrassing. Johnny says Robinson has too many lapses in concentration. He's the Melier equivalent. Could have cost a penalty the last 3 games. No focus on where he deflects the ball or positional sense. Yeah. Smack gobbed, says Wayne. Cannot believe it. Season over in a week. Will not win the playoffs playing like that. No leaders in this team. I do think we lack leaders. I think that's fair to say. 3 L's in a row, says Riley. Matty says, I love Wilder, I do, but if he even slightly defends Robinson, I'm going to lose my head. We need a different formation. Striker is always isolated with no options, and we never cross it, so why go wide? Daz says, disappointed. I really thought we clicked against Coventry. Playoffs doesn't feel like a consolation, unfortunately. Just put the lead shirt on, Jimmy. Get it over with. Yeah, I think we're almost there, aren't we, pal? Keep your chin up, Jimbo. You'll still go up, playoffs or not. I don't think I'm not convinced, mate. I mean, playoffs I will be up for and I will be hopeful for come that time. But at the moment, we've just got to get his head around what's happened today, I think, haven't we, really? So it's, there'll be a time for trying to be positive again. But I've always said I'll come on here and be completely open and honest. And I'm not going to paint on a smile if after we've just thrown away automatic promotion, because that's what's happened, isn't it? Is Wilder on borrowed time, says Ray? Is it time for a new way forward? I don't think he's on borrowed time, mate. They've just given him a new contract. I think he's done a fantastic job this season. I think he'll be as disappointed as everybody else last 3 games. And we have thrown it away, haven't we? So I don't think so. There will be people calling for it, I think, but not for me. Fighting again, for flip's sake, says Dave. Phil says, hi, Jimmy. Bad day again, but we must keep going and support our team. Playoffs, it seems, but we'll be there right behind them up the full-time round. Yes, we will, pal. We certainly will. Hi, Jimmy. The team should be ashamed of themselves, says Deb. Sean says Robinson should never play again. How we've thrown away automatic promotion, and how do we turn this around? Oh, dearie me. All kicked off in the tunnel. Yeah, saw that. I'm just about an hour behind. So I'll go to the point where we read at least one from everybody, hopefully. Kicked off in the tunnel, another fine coming, says Chris. Yeah, that's true. Brad says, do you regret being mouthy on Connor's streams early on in the season? No, mate. No, I don't think I was mouthy, to be fair, but I don't mind saying anything I said to back my team. I've loved every minute of the roller coaster, and unfortunately, it looks like we're going to finish in third, doesn't it? So, you take your medicine, don't you, Brad? But no, I don't regret anything I've said through the season, because I don't, if I were in the same boat, I'd say it again. It's not, I wasn't saying it, in case, I best not say anything. We just say what we think. Hi, Jimmy. Playoffs is going to be interesting, says Gaz. Got to start playing a lot better now. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Liam says Robinson's awful. Both goals are his fault, pal. Shocking touch and defending, which led to their corner at first, and that awful clearance for second over his head, which fell straight to them. Shocking. Jack says the one player I wanted off the pitch captains the side again. If Holding was on, it would have been a different scenario. Chris says Wilder out, been rubbish all season. Now it's caught up with us. Josh says we've bottled it. The players need to have a look at themselves up the Ramble. J29, get Wilder gone as soon as possible. Running the club into the ground. Same tactics every game, and it just don't work. Gears at Danny Roll, and I'm happy. Cannon and O'Hare, waste of wages. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Completely disagree with that, but that's what opinions are for, isn't it? That's what I think he's done a. You can't forget that he's. I'm not going to go over the same ground, but we lost 20 players in summer. 20 players and big hitters for United as well, and we're now third. Blades falling apart again, says Lil Lom. Full on kickoff in the tunnel, says Matt. Notorious HIG says Robinson again. Bad end to the game from him. Feels like we've been waiting for a performance like that from him. Criminal when we have Holding sitting there. Yeah, absolutely, mate. It is. I think so too. Martin says, feel for you right now, Jim. Put up a good fight, but just fell at the final hurdle. Greasy chip butties in my house tonight for dinner. Up the Clarets. Good luck in the playoffs, mate. Yeah, no worries, Martin. You've got to do that, haven't you? You've got to do that. Best case scenario is we get a day out at Wembley. In all seriousness, though, I don't want to see Jack Robinson in United shirt. Wilder needs to sort it out. Toddy says looks at manager fighting in the tunnel. He's feeling the pressure. Absolute joke, the lot of them. Mick says it looks like Robinson fighting in the tunnel. CJ says see you later, Chris. I'm not sure about that. 270 minutes against Leeds and Burnley. We've got 30 minutes against Leeds. Proves we're third best, says Matty. Why do you think they're falling apart, Jimmy? I think it's a number of reasons, Deb. I can't put my finger on exactly why, because obviously if we knew, then it'd be some way towards fixing it. But I don't think we've dealt with the pressure at all. I just think we've crumbled in the key moments. I think we've not been fluid in our play. I don't think we've been as brave as we needed to be at times on the pitch. Wilder obviously picks the team as well. I think fielding the same team against Millwall that went out against Oxford were a huge own goal. It's just... Mickey says, we expected a major reaction. Most fight I've seen in the past 3 games just happened as players were getting off the pitch in the tunnel. Lee says, man, the tables have turned. I honestly thought you had automatics nailed on. Pinching win after win all season. There you go. Hope Robbo gets a red in the tunnel, says Ian. Cooler King says, Wilder's style isn't conducive to creating lots of chances or killing teams off. His loyalty to Robinson counts as self-harm. He hasn't got a tune out of his £10 million striker. Not good at all. That's a neutral, by the way. That's a neutral. I appreciate the Tom Cannon shout, but a neutral fan saying that Robinson is, significantly detrimental to Sheffield United. We've never imposed ourselves on teams. We should be blowing teams away with the players we have. Square pegs in round holes, creatively challenged all season, and no improvement, says Jack. Absolutely garbage. Robinson wants sacking, says Paul. Play like that in the playoffs, and it's championship again up the Ramble. Rick says, I feel your pain, Jimmy. Just like us last season, you hit the wall at the worst possible time. Hope you catch Burnley. All the best, my good friend. Good luck in the final 4 games, marching on together. Thank you, pal. Rev says, team is more than good enough to go up. Wilder is tactically inept. Skiddy says, with this form, we won't make it past the first round of the playoffs. Brian says, season over, bottled it, playoffs, no chance. Dom says, I'll have extra custard with my blades crumble. Ian says, please hit the like button. Yeah, that would, if you're coming here to wallow as a fellow Blade or to gloat as a Claret or a Leeds fan, then if you're enjoying the stream, then please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Very much, as you canter off into the Premier League, you can just leave us a little subscribe so we can keep you posted on Championship football next season. Robbie says, Robinson's fighting in the tunnel. He probably won't win that either. I'm not renewing my season ticket if Wilder is still in charge next season, says Paul. Where do you sit, mate? That might mean we can get a bit further up on John Street then. Jim Bob, sorry, pal, says Josh. Always backed Robinson, says Chip Butty. I know you have, mate, and that's admirable, to be honest. He's a liability now. Oxford, Millwall and Plymouth, I'm sorry, but we don't deserve automatic promotion after the last 3 results. I think, you can't argue much with that. I'm going to go live via satellite to our Plymouth correspondent right now. It's the man who's doing Ramble on the Road. It's Jamie Dumpling. How's it going, pal?
Terrible. I think that's the easiest way to put it.
It's awful, isn't it? Awful. Talk to me about, obviously, we know how the game went, mate. We were all here for the watch along. It's been on TV. We've all seen the game. Talk to me about what the atmosphere has been like in the ground and what the fans are generally saying in and around it now when you've been in and amongst it.
I mean, it was fine up to literally just before they scored. I mean, it probably weren't the best atmosphere from United's side. It was a bit like home game at times. I think that's because everyone was just worried, and then the moment we conceded first, dropped a bit, we were still backing everyone, and then they scored second. Everyone said it was complete head loss. And to be fair, it was booings when final whistle went, which I'm not surprised, to be fair. But when players came over, everyone would just try to back them as much as possible, because I think we've all realised we just need to get behind them now with playoffs all but confirmed at this point.
Okay. Any performances stand out, having seen it? I know it's a different experience viewing it in the flesh to always seeing it on TV. Did anybody stand out as playing? A few of us have gone in on Jack Robinson. A few commenters have gone in on Tom Cannon.
Yeah.
Are they justified, or from what you saw, or is it a case of actually they were doing a lot of things that people didn't really see? I know, sometimes they can be talking to other players and helping them out and things like that. But what were it like at the game, pal?
I think Cannon it was as if he were trying to play his own kind of style. He just weren't suited for it. He needs pre-season in him. Robbo looked all right, but he were bomb scare about 5 times for me, I think I counted. And he barely passed to Burrows again. He just didn't want to pass to him, ever. Highlights, Suze and Peck were incredible in that midfield moment. They both went off. We completely lost it in midfield. Hamer and in middle and O'Hare on left, that worked really well. I do think he gave a lot more balance, to be fair.
Okay.
Raksaki was one of his better performances. I think he just needs a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
But I didn't really see their goals. I've only just seen them on highlights. But I think Robbo's to blame for both. He gave up the corner and got Susie injured at the same time, and then tried to absolutely boost into air just to come straight back down, and then just did the splits almost trying to defend it. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how he's even staying in it.
I can't deal with him, mate. I can't deal with it. You know what I'm like.
My head with him. He needs dropping, because if Wilder keeps him in, it's borderline career suicide. Because he's got to drop him for playoffs. Otherwise, we are going to lose it. Because let's look at the teams that are going to be in the playoffs or in and around it. You've got Sunderland, who are coming back into form now after a bit of a dip. You've got Coventry, who at United, they weren't great, but they're a different team when they're at their ground. You've got Bristol City, which we have only just got a win against them at their ground, and then we're a draw that we got against them.
It's not just that, mate. I think it's all about momentum in playoffs, isn't it? It's all about getting in there. I know we have got, most teams will probably in the playoffs will probably swap squads with us, but if we haven't got the momentum to sort of, bounce into the playoffs, then it'll be a standing start and we'll be on the back foot again. So confidence looks shot at the minute in the squad, and I think there needs to be some big changes. And there were today in terms of the lineup, but is it a playing style issue? Is it a formation issue? I think there's certain personnel, Jack Robinson being my one that I go to say it needs to come out of the side. But what do you think needs to change, mate? So it's things turn around.
I don't think Robinson needs to be dropped. For me, he's not helping team. He's not a captain. He is a massive issue. Campbell, you could see were brilliant when he came out. I know he missed that chance and it was a really bad miss, but you can tell the way he was playing his overall game, he was miles better. And people are saying, "Oh, why is Keith Moore coming on?" 1-0 up, you bring him more on. There's no question about it for me. But I think you do need to. I do think it's a bit of a personal issue, but it's multiple things Wilder needs sorted. But I mean, you look at 18-19 season. I know that's quite a few years ago, but coming into that playoffs, Leeds were challenging for the title. They then go into the playoffs, they lose, and then Villa have Jack Grealish come back, have all the momentum, and then win the playoffs. I can see that happening all again, kind of thing.
Okay, mate. Okay. Well, I know it's been a very early start for you this morning. I was getting videos from you at 3:30 this morning. So thank you for your dedication to the Ramble. I appreciate it, mate. And we'll get that Ramble on the road turned around for tomorrow. But any final thoughts before I let you go, bud?
Get your tickets booked for playoffs and don't even think about Wembley yet because you're probably not even going to get that far.
Jamie, thanks for joining us, pal. Listen, safe. I hope you have a good night out tonight. We'll get some of that footage for the video.
Yeah,
and then,
I don't know if I might just stay in.
Really? Is that the plan now?
Yeah, I don't.
Fair enough. I understand it. Safe trip back up north, and I'll catch up with you soon, pal. All right.
Good.
See you soon. Cheers, Jamie. Jamie Dumpling there, top man. J29 says, Robbo's attitude needs to be studied. It's woeful. Get him gone. City Peck, holy poo pants. He's our next gem up the Ramble. Nath says, that was a disgrace. I'm fuming. Playoffs it is. And we know how badly that goes already. Robinson is the biggest liability and both goals are his fault. If he gets a new contract, that is beyond a joke. I always thought, and this, again, I don't mean to speak out of turn, but we're honest and we're open here. I always thought that Wilder was keeping Robinson sweet intentionally in the press to keep his attitude on side until the end of the season, because we were having to rely on him. He was in the team, particularly before Rob Holding came on board, and I thought that was why Wilder was talking him up in the press in terms of, he's our captain, is this, is that, is other. Surely he doesn't think he's a top class player, but it's a mind trick essentially to get Robinson on side, which makes sense to me. And then he reveals that he's got a game clause in his contract that will trigger. I think if he hits 25 games, well, he must have hit that 25 games now. I'm sure he must have hit it. So if that's the case, he's going to trigger another year on his contract. And if we stay down, I think it's very likely that we renew his contract anyway. That's where we are, isn't it? Cannot believe we've dropped a ball once again, says S8. Remember what I said last stream, Jim? No, I don't, pal. I must read 500 comments sometimes. It's one of them. Tom laughing because it was Bogle with the winning goal. Yeah, you signed him to score goals, didn't you? Because you didn't sign him to defend. So, no, fair play. These things happen, don't they? He's a good player going forward. Always said that. Donna says, hi, Jimmy. Love your positivity, but you can't defend that. Please stop defending Wilder. Today was embarrassing. Wilder list it and so has the team. Lost it and so has the team. I'm not defending anybody tonight, Donna. I think it's I'm just gutted, really. I'm trying not to blame anybody either. trying not to defend anybody, not to blame anybody. I'm trying to get my head around the facts of what's happened. I appreciate I can't hold my water with Jack Robinson sometimes. And again, I don't want this to be a witch hunt against one player. So it's hard, though, to balance your feelings when it's so raw. We know Robbo isn't good enough, but what about Wilder, says PJ? He just isn't good enough either. To lay this just with Robbo is to miss the point. Wilder's management these last 3 games has been appalling. What about his management the previous 39, though, PJ? You can't just pick and choose when you're going to criticise a manager. And yes, at the moment, we're at hopefully the end of a terrible 3-game run. So it's easy to point the finger. But nobody was saying that after Coventry, were they? That he's a poor manager or anything like that. I personally think it's a ludicrous point, but it's an opinion. So you're not wrong by any means. Brad says 4 games left. You cannot afford to lose any of them now we ain't got a chance. We haven't got a chance. Muppets from Sheffield, says Grant, which is long-term storytelling, isn't it? That's what they say. Howard and Eve Worrell Thomas says Blades are falling apart again. Beast Boy says, my head's on Mars. I can't believe we've just done that. Sam Oxley says, around this time 7 days ago, Leeds and Burnley were 1-0 down and we had 3 easier games coming up. Crazy how 1 week can change everything. Congrats to Leeds and Burnley. Those comments haven't I read. Craig? Different players, same format, same way of playing, not working, can't cross a ball. Robbo lets us and himself down. Wilder has to change his tactics. We are being found out on a week-by-week basis. Bacon Tea Cake says, harder away day than people make out. Yes, they are bottom, but on away form, I think you'll still win the playoffs, to be honest. Not sure about that. Robinson throwing our whole season away, says Jack. Toddy says, form doesn't say that, though, Jim. He needs to make better decisions being the manager. Wayne says, so bye-bye Gus and El Vinny. They will go if we don't get promoted. They will go. Was it Rob Holding fighting with Robinson in the tunnel after watching his defending today? Possibly. Bean says, we've absolutely imploded. Wilder's had a shocker these last few games. Awful in the final third. Wilder picking Robinson is the equivalent of Farker persisting with Melier. Sausage roll, who I assume is a Wednesdayite who must have subscribed to comment. So thank you for that. Jake says, I know we've won 26, but we also have been pouring so many of those wins. Now that the luck is gone and the confidence is knocked, we're no longer winning when we're playing poorly. M, who's clearly not a blade, says Robinson Ballon d'Or for me. Cameron says, we've peaked too soon. Where is the fight and the class in the players? I know, mate. Danny says, we've all got eyes. Been poor all season, regardless of results. Poor discipline as well. And that's on the manager and staff. Promotion or not, I don't want to see that next season. Jared says, could Lit read parts of Wilder's huddle with the players saying we react back on Friday and with 4 games left? I guess he has to be positive with the players, but it's over. Tony Raw says, Robbo at fault again and we're obliged to offer another year contract due to appearances. Russ says, playoffs it is. We need to find some kind of form in the next 4 games. Jimmy Paddy says, how can the same team blow Coventry away so easily and now crumble like this? Awful, says Donna. Oh, dear. Wilder clueless, she says. Grant says, Blades are falling apart again. On this form, we don't even get to the playoff final. That's true. On this form, we don't. We can't beat Plymouth away. So we're not going to beat a Coventry away or a Bristol City away, are we? It's one of them. H from Steps says, manager has lost the plot. One for sorrow, ain't it, pal? One for sorrow. Ed says, we got draws in our bad run of form. 3 losses for you in a week. That's the difference between first and third. It's fair dues. Jez says, dour performances all season. We don't deserve automatic promotion. The manager is now. Oh, and you don't finish your point. Nice trim, says Steve. Thanks, pal. Thanks. It wasn't quite what I was going for, but, beggars and choosers and all that. You pay 15 quid. That's what you get. All the best in the playoffs, Jim Bob, says Simon. Thank you, mate. Steve Cooper, forget that, says Dino. But Wilder does need to have a reset, a rethink, and has got away with murder all season. I've backed Robbo, but his time's come. Let's see if the new owners come up with funds. Great Bant says, well, it's clear Robbo is our Melier. How many points does he cost us? Suter injury killed our top 2 hopes. Completely agree. Now fans and the team need to prepare for the playoffs. Well done for getting so close, Wilder. Mogger says Sunderland been prepping for the playoffs for weeks. Good that we got a few games to sort it out now. We Are Blade says it was all going off in the tunnel at the end. Yeah, saw that. How different it could have been, says Westwood, if Suter had never got injured. I know, mate. Pablo says we won't win the playoffs. Struggle to score against teams we're expected to beat, and Robbo's a liability. I just don't get why we've turned into such a poor team within a few games. Me neither, pal. Me neither. Brand says, nice to see Robbo's team meeting worked. Absolutely embarrassing. Yeah, it is embarrassing. Feel for you, Jimbo, says FV, who's here come rain or shine. Thank you, pal. Pathetic, says Maury. Yeah, Maury is a blade as well, so... Gabe says we've been found out and we're playing with 10 men when Robbo's playing. If he's going to persist with Robbo, then questions need to be asked about Wilder. Phil says the table has flattered us all season. We've played badly and won so many times and are now getting found out. If we have another season in this league, so be it, but we need a different manager. Tazzy says, terrible time for Wilder to go and get Cooper in for the playoffs. Jez says, in the end, we've got what our performances deserved. Manager is highly culpable. Brilliant result, boys, says Bobby, who's not a blade, obviously. Cody says, I'm a Wilder fan, but recently I'm starting to lose it with Wilder and starting to lose trust with him. We've been in a fantastic position and we're extremely poor in the last 3 games, and we do not. And that is, I ain't got another comment from you there, pal. Leighton says, as a Leeds fan, I do feel for you, Jim Bob. It's been an absolute roller coaster. It certainly has. Certainly has. Where's the Gobby Blades fans now, says Mike. I'm not sure there's been too many Gobby Blades fans, Mike. A lot of us have been Blades for a while. I think I'm not quite there where I can congratulate you yet, but I'm sure it'll come. Couldn't be worse. Sheffield United blowing it, and now your good lady's going to give you the cold shoulder. I know she only wanted a bit of brass from me, so I sent that through while everyone at callers on, and it's all hunky dory again, I think. Traffic cone. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Football is brutal. Rules need to be changed. 3 up, 3 down. Can't stand the playoffs, and I'm a Leeds fan. We can't say that to make it fit, can we? But listen, the 3 top, I've said for a while now, the 3 top teams deserve to go up from this league. We have been the best by a distance. And it looks like we're dropping into 3rd now, but you can't be revisionist with playoffs are brilliant. That's why teams like Millwall and things like that still have something to fight for at this stage. It'd be boring, wouldn't it? Because a lot of teams' seasons have finished with like 15 games to go. Jim, listen to Dave about Wilder also. Mark says, apart from Souza and Raksaki, the rest were shocking. No pace, no invention, no passion. I thought City Peck were very good today. Can't believe you've lost 3 in a week. You and me both, Ian. You and me both. Marching on together, he says. Mindful horses, says Robbo caught Wilder. Fault. Wilder clueless. Back 5 needed badly. Holding our biggest defender and leaves him on the bench. Coatsy says Wilder's got to go, hasn't he? We'll never move forward with him at the helm. Too stubborn. 2nd Premier League season all over again. He's too immature. Wow. Shawnee says, love Wilder, but he hits brick walls tactically. Not sure I can take the playoffs again. I know, mate. Looking forward to a great season in the Championship again, says Sky. Got to get over this period and enjoy a good summer in the transfer market. As positive as I can be, I'm afraid. Kelly says, can't believe that score. Can't believe that score. We will not win the playoffs. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, up behind the Ramble. 1,800 people here. Probably not all Blades, let's be right. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. If you do feel for me at all, give us a like. Give us a subscribe if you're not already. It'd be very much appreciated. It's got to be the playoffs again, says Paul. And going into it in the worst form. There's 4 games to go yet before playoffs, pal. Don't worry. My mate said after losing at Cardiff in 2003, they always let you down. Glyn says, genuinely feeling for you, Blades. If it's the playoffs, I hope you get through. Burnley fan. Thank you, mate. Job number 1 now is to make absolutely sure of 3rd, says Cool King. Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable, that. Ninja says, living with today's performance, not good enough. We looked scrappy. Majority of the game felt result was inbound all the second half. We've run out of ideas. Wilder has to take some responsibility. Gabe says, I think Holding was brought in to make our bench better looking. Greg says Robinson is a League One at best. Why is he still getting in the team? I said months ago it would be the playoffs. It's time to stop living on sentiment with Wilder. Wilder needs to go. Matt says, I really do not feel bad because I said last week we'll be in the playoffs, so it's not a shock. Burnley will smash us, Dave. King Tut says Burnley lose their next game. Makes it interesting. That's very wishful thinking. Atram Steps says, too right, bigger things. My depression is hit rock bottom. I'm so sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. I hope United hasn't played a part in that. Playoffs, you need to beat Burnley now. It's playoffs, mate. It's playoffs. Hamer off his game that the team don't play well, says Pete. Maybe this year for playoffs. Up the Blades. I hope you're right, pal. Snappy says, Leeds drop their weak link and start winning. Wilder sticks with ours. We keep losing. Very good point. Very good point. Very clearly made. Deb says, I think Wilder should watch your YouTube channel, Jimmy. Who says he doesn't? Who says he hasn't watched the odd ramble from time to time? Good afternoon, Chris. Please no swearing family channel. Absolutely right, bro. I won't be reading any of those out, don't worry. Big Mally says, Gordon Bennett, Jimmy, am I dreaming? No, mate. It's very real. It's very real indeed, unfortunately. Connor says, I don't mind, Blades. Feel bad for you tonight. Hope you do come up and break your playoff history. All the best as long as we go up also. Really do feel for you a lot. It's the other side of Sheffield I hate. Well, that makes two of us. Kelvin says, hi, chaps. Just been out sowing some carrots and came back to this Bobby Dazzler of a comeback. How do you reckon you fare in the playoffs? Not very well, pal. Let's be honest. We don't have a prayer, says Danny. We've been embarrassing. That just isn't football. We don't deserve Premier League football. Shocking decisions, tactics and attitude. Hope we stay down. Dave P says, what's the point of getting Holding and Muppet doesn't play him? Interesting. Please don't mention autos. Mate, there's no mention of autos here, is there? No mention of autos. I think Dave touched on it very briefly, but Chris and players fighting in the tunnel after the game. Michael says, credit to the true fans who stick with the Blades and don't jump off and support teams like Man City who always seem to win things. Oh, mate, you've got to stick with your team. I mean, we've seen tonight, Mark Hill absolutely devastated. There's never any danger he goes elsewhere. You're stuck with it, aren't you? Unfortunately. Changing teams is the ultimate football sin. You can't do it. The trajectory is downhill rapidly, says Mogger. Ian says, I'm a Leeds fan. If you beat Burnley, it's back on. It's not, mate. It's not. It's not. They've lost 2 games all season. Only autos that should be mentioned is VMB Autos. Yes, Gabe. What a man. VMB Auto Centres. You mention the Ramble, you get 50% off your next MOT. Still doing that fantastic deal. All on Wilder, says PJ. He is the manager. Ohio Blade says, either this is how Wilder wants them to play or he can't get them to play it the way he wants. Either way, it's a failure in management. Take off the he's a Blade blinders and he's not a good manager. Wow, strong. There's a lot of that tonight. I still think it's very raw and some people may feel differently on reflection, but again, we're here for opinions, aren't we? I'm so angry and depressed with that, says Andrew. It's on Wilder and the Scouse Pratt Robinson. I don't want to see him in our shirt again. James says, I did say that, Jim. Pressure is completely off now. Get your holidays booked and done before the playoffs, lads, where we can come back refreshed. Might be worth taking a month off football. Keep it Ramble. Keep it Ramble. David Morwood says, won't be on, Jimmy, as I'm tired and got a bad cough. But if I were, it would be to say they bottled that and Robinson needs to not only be dropped, but let go. He's a liability. Go now. Thanks for your comment, David. I hope you're well, mate. You'll make sure you get some rest, pal. We need you back on fit and firing when you're ready. Shapneil says, as a Leeds supporter, I feel your pain. Today, even winning has been torturous. Ignore any gloating Leeds supporters. They do not represent us. Your channel is the best out here. Chin up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. What a lovely comment, pal. And look, there's not a lot of certainly genuine Leeds fans that will come on and absolutely... And look, if you can't come on and have a little dig, then the game's gone, hasn't it? You should be, I won't take abuse, but you can have a little gloat. It's one of them, innit? I give Connor stick. I'm fully expecting Connor to give me a bit of stick. Joe will definitely give me some stick. Burnley had to hold on against Norwich. Yeah, but they did, didn't they? They did hold on. That's the difference. And we didn't. Paul says, talk of Wilder fighting with 2 Plymouth players in the tunnel after... No, it's nonsense, mate. He sort of... 2 Plymouth players were celebrating in front of our fans. Wilder was walking towards the tunnel at the same time as they were walking there. And he just turned and sort of half squared him. It wasn't like it was just a what the flip do you think you're doing sort of thing. It's storm in a teacup. Jimmy, new caravan incoming. She's making sure you're not buying anything. Probably, mate. Selling me caravan if anybody wants to make me feel better. I want to buy a caravan at Primrose Valley. It's absolutely brilliant, by the way, but girls are getting a bit old for it now, that's all. So it's all falling apart within a week. Jimmy, what has happened, says Dale. I know, mate. The Anglo-Saxon, not seen you for a while, pal. Hope you're well. If Wilder sticks with Robinson past this, he won't see Christmas next season. Absolute calamity every time. Big Tony, who I believe has gone down today. Robinson having a go at Blades fans at half-time. What's that? What are you having a go? Is that what happened, Tony? Because somebody came on and said, he came over to the fans and sort of said, effing come on, or something like that, like as if to G him up. If he's had a go, then dearie me. We won't get 12 points from 4 games, and even if we could, neither Burnley or Leeds will drop 6 from their games. Game over, Blades, says Paul. I agree with that. Got involved with the fans at Oxford. Ref against Millwall. Talked about their manager before this. Is that Wilder? Fav, we have been a bad to average team all season. Or I'm afraid we have been, apart from 4 games, it's not overnight, says Cowboy Paul Young. Sean says we don't need to worry about the playoffs. Our main concern should be how we start winning again. That's right. Louis says, I feel like you have to go up this season. Next season is really hard. I disagree that we have to. I don't think we're in that position where we've been there before, where it's a calamity if we don't. But we've still got to, not even thinking about Championship football next season yet. How did you manage to bottle it so bad marching on together, says Raleigh. Don't know. I've been watching you boys, I think, probably. Matthew says, to be fair, you haven't really been playing super football all season. A lot of poor performances. Fair. Playoffs, is it? Who we all wanting, says Joe. I wanted to turn it in a minute, pal. Internet problems, Jim? No, I don't think so, pal. I don't think so. Hope not anyway. Next year is going to be tough if you do fail this season. I hope you do manage to get up. Thank you, Phil. Francis, pressure. This is the second tier and we'll play a much higher calibre of team in the Prem. The 3 losses are so damaging to our confidence that there's no way we come back from this and win the playoffs. Dom says, if Wilder gets narky with the fans after that, I won't be going next season unless he's gone. We've flattered to deceive all season. It says, Jimmy, we do not win playoffs. Always said I would go to Wembley, assuming we get there. But now I'm finished this season. Sodom. Poppy Gamer Girl says, Jimmy, play Joy Division. Christopher says, will Mr. Wilder let us complain now? You can always complain, mate. You can always have your say. 100% game over now, says Hyder. Hope you're well, pal. Not seen you for a bit. We're losing the playoffs like always, probably to Coventry to top it off. Ugh. Andres says, don't look now, but you're about to be close to Sunderland and the promotion places. Yeah, could happen. Could happen, mate. Lee says, I think that Sunderland could finish 3rd. Momentum is everything going into the playoffs. Joe says, 3 losses on the trot against lowly teams does not bode well for the playoffs. I agree with that. That's we're coming towards the end. I'm trying to catch up as best I can. Would prefer it to be you guys rather than Burnley, but I'm so happy right now. Was on the floor last week. Now I'm buzzing. Righteous One says, Bosh. Will Socket says, sticking a lump on us to beat Burnley now when it won't help us. Jimbo, love you, mate, says Tom. Thank you, pal. Right, Matt SB. What on earth has happened here? I don't know, mate. I don't know. See you at Wembley, maybe. See you at CBS, depending on what happens. Truth coming home to bite us now. We're not good enough to go up the blades, up all the rambles. Like and subscribe, says Douglas. Right, strictly now. Crimbo Fishstick says Wilder has no clue how to make proper substitutions. Mark Jones says Leeds. Come on, Sheffield United win the playoffs. Would miss the banter. Right, let's try and get some different ones in. We've seen Robbo make exactly the same mistake for their first goal earlier in the season, says Tim. I forget who it was against. Can you remember, Jim? No, they all blend into one, I'm afraid, Tim, at this stage. Dom says, what a day up the Clarets. King for a day says, poor strikers, same defence mistakes, lucky wins. Mick says, it really hurts to say this, but well done to Leeds and Burnley. You're better than us and deserve it. I'm not quite there yet. I will get there because you have to congratulate the better teams, but I can't quite bring myself to that point. Mick, Dominic says, thank you, though. Holding must be wondering what he has to do to get a game, says Tim. Completely agree. We're on comments from just after 3 o'clock and I'm over time, so I'm going to spin right towards the end now. Apologies if I missed some comments, but we are well over time. Okay, Corinthos Blade says the playoffs favour the team who are in form. Yes, that's right. Cool and Luke says, may as well do one. Thought Jim Bob, you would be welcome. You would welcome Leeds fans on your channel. Watched your stream for an hour. Not one message read out. Don't know where you've been, mate. I don't know where you've been. Lee says, needs a change of system. We've been found out. Robbo is a liability. Holding needs to start to give us calmness at the back. Completely imploded. Chris, the Burnley fan, says, can't understand how Robinson can be starting. Wouldn't even get on the bench at either Leeds or Burnley. I agree. Paul says, fuming, let's see who Wilder blames today. Just not good enough. Plays Cannon on his own, but can't get crosses into an old-fashioned centre-forward. Lost 3 on the bounce. Shows we're not good enough for the Prem. Ian says, need to bring the fringe players out. Bring in the fringe players now. Tell them the shirts are theirs to keep. Also, chance to rest the first-team players. Jake said it after Millwall. I think Wilder has been found out tactically and doesn't want to change anything up. Great guy and a fan of him, but his inability to change anything has been our downfall. 29 undefeated, says Jack. We've now lost 9 games, Sheffield United. Yeah, exactly. You don't deserve to go up automatically with that, do you? Leeds fan here says, Mark, gutted you lost today. I'm still hoping you can turn it around and make the Prem next year. Thank you, pal. Danny Talks Sport says, Jimmy, have you had a fitting for the Leeds shirt from a Leeds fan? It'll be coming, mate. It'll be coming, and I will take my punishment. Possibly Burnley have a blip and you beat them. Unlikely, but got to keep the faith till the end. Oh, dear. I think Sheffield United go up via the playoffs. I still think Leeds... I think if Sheffield United do go by the playoffs, I think Leeds come in for Cooper. I think, if they don't. Wilder's a pub manager, always has been, in my opinion, says Lee. Life with the Petman says, Leeds fan, Burnley will lose to Watford. You need to beat them away and you go above them. We'll see. I can't see that happening, to be honest. Jim, if you don't go up, where does it leave you financially? Unknown, to be honest, pal. New owners, so we don't know the answer to that question yet. Apple Factory says, looks like it was Darko J-Bit and Wilder squaring up down the tunnel. Genuinely don't understand why the man can't rise above it. Jack says, Jim Bob, I'll get you a beer at Penny Black to cheer you up, pal. Don't drink, but I'll have a Coke, mate. We'll be right. Lars says, as a Leeds fan, I'm over the moon at the results today, but still hope Sheffield United go up automatically instead of Burnley and Sunderland go up through the playoffs. I think you'll be disappointed, pal. Barney says, Jim, y'all haven't won a game without Melly in goal. MVP of your team. That's fair. That's fair. Dex says Hamza and Campbell deserves top 11. Brilliant birthday for you, weren't it? It says was. No, in terms of football, it's been shocking. Fred says was just a sad performance. Really thought Wilder got a lot right and just not really sure what went wrong. Uncle Philly says, chin up, Jim Bob. 4 games to play, and if anyone can fall to bits, it's Leeds, all to play for. We'll see. As a Leeds fan, I still don't think it's over, says Connor. Well, I do. Dale says, new subscriber, Jim, and a Leeds fan. Thank you, pal. Really feel for you. Ignore the doom mongers, pal. It's like listening to our fans a few games back. Keep the faith. Good luck, and it's not over till it's over. Marching on together. All Leeds, aren't we? No, we're not. But thank you for the support, pal. And people are allowed to come on and, I know you're saying doom monger, but they're allowed to be upset out there. I've no quabbles with that. We're a platform for people's opinions, and this is the genuine feeling of people at the minute. It's sad, innit? It's sad. I feel sad for our fan base, and I feel sorry for Miss N as well. It's just, but somebody had to lose out, didn't they? It looks like us. Ren says, unlucky today, Jim. Like the other guy said, it's not over, but you do need either Leeds or Burnley to lose to overtake. Feel for you, because this was us last season. I'm going to say, excuse me. Okay. Jimmy, we've been down. You will bounce back, says LUFC 192020. Thank you to everybody that's joined us. There's over 1,700 people here now joining me in my misery. If you don't already and you like what we do, or you feel sorry for me, whichever, I'll take that at the minute. Do give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video in any particular way. And subscribe if you're not already to the channel. We have enjoyed a brilliant season, and we will still enjoy the rest of the brilliant season. But yeah, it's just a really disappointing result all the way around. Zoomland says, subscribe just now as a Leeds fan, buzzing with the result. Fair play to you, lad. You're a top man. All the best in the playoffs if that's where you end up. Thank you, pal. Yeah, one of them. Just subscribe, Leeds fan here. Thank you. Mate. You're a cracking Yorkshire lad, says LUFC. Thank you. Yeah, we welcome all opposition fans, but ultimately this is a day for Sheffield United fans to accept where we are. Innit? This is what's happening now. We need to get our heads around it. We need to readjust, reset, go again. Maybe recalibrate everything, because it's a different trajectory to the trip we thought we were on. But we didn't sign up to be only a successful club, did we? We didn't, and if we don't do it, if we fail this season, if we're in the Championship next year, and then we go again next year, and perhaps even get promoted next season, we will enjoy it that much more for this failure, because it's always about the journey and not the destination. So this is what builds character in fan bases. This is what it's like being a Sheffield United fan. If there's a younger fan base out there, I'll tell you what my dad told me a long time ago. It's the hope that kills you with Sheffield United. A lot of fan bases say that, but we find it to be very true and very fitting for our fan base. They will get you to a certain point where you'll believe, and then they'll let you down at the last minute. But we still love them. We still love them. It's like that. It's like your kid when they let you down and you're disappointed in them. It doesn't change the fact that you love them unconditionally. It's just one of them things that, yeah, we're absolutely gutted tonight, but we'll be back. We're going to get Jamie's Ramble on the road up for tomorrow. I don't know when we're next due up. But to find out, you'll have to keep it Ramble and get subscribed, because we'll be back pretty soon with the Cardiff warm-up. Got some really good stuff coming on the channel, so thank you, everybody, for your continued support. But for now, come on. Come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blade.